clip from Saving Private Ryan, one of our favorite guests that we've had in the studio in a long time. Vin Diesel on the phone this time. Vin's got a new movie out. Hey, Vin.
Hey, buddy.
Good to talk to you again, Vin Diesel.
Good to talk to you.
Yeah, you remember being in Atlanta?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Early. You were here about 7 in the morning one day. I guess a couple of years ago. What movie was that for? That was
for Boiler Room and Pitch Black.
Oh, that's right, Pitch Black.
I think it was actually more for Pitch Black, but Boiler Room was what people were talking about, and
which was a great movie.
I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah, they both came out on the same day.
That's gotta be kind of weird. I mean, I guess the studio doesn't care, but for your purpose, would you rather they not?
I guess ideally you'd rather the films not come out on the same day, but I think I was lucky that they did come out on the same day because no one really knew me before that.
Right.
And there was, I guess, a more significant impact because you had these two contrasting roles coming out at the same time. So
you know what, though? You say that no one knew you. It only took one guy. His name is Steven Spielberg. That's all that needed to know you.
That's right. That's important.
For people that don't know, the story is pretty impressive about how he found you. You put together a small indie film, and what was that film about? It was about different...
It was about identity. It was about an actor and identity. It was a short film, actually, called Multifacial.
And you screened it somewhere in New York, and you paid for the whole thing. You put it all together, and you scraped and scrapped to get it all in there, and then he saw it somehow. Yeah,
I went to Cannes with it in '95.
Can anybody just get a movie in Cannes, or how did you?
Well, I mean, you have to be somewhat of a hustler, or.
I mean, that's what How did you even get your movie to Cannes? Because that in itself is quite a feat.
I was a hustler.
You were a hustler?
So you scammed your way in.
I did every scam in the book to get my film into Cannes. No, you have to. There's a number of ways to get into Cannes, and my particular way was a lot of praying and a lot of believing in myself. And it really meant a lot to me. I'm only kidding, guys.
You conned your way in. We know that, Vin. We've read the stories.
I muscled a few people. What do you want from me?
Yeah, you did.
Well, so he approached you afterwards, or called you, or what, and said, "Hey, I've got this role for you in Saving Private Ryan."
No. What happened was that I went to Cannes, and my primary focus at Cannes was to try to get my feature film made. So I went out to L.A. I didn't get the money for Strays, which was my feature film in Cannes, and then I went out to L.A. and tried to get money for Strays, and I ended up telemarketing. And my buddy John Sally and I worked on the phone and telemarketed and earned $47,000, and we went back to New York in '96 to shoot the film. We go to the Strays gets accepted into dramatic competition in Sundance '97. So we go to Sundance, and I thought that I would sell the feature film. And I come back home after Sundance, and a failure, not a failure, but I didn't sell the film. Mm-hmm. And a couple of weeks later, I get a call from my agent saying that Steven Spielberg saw the first short film, which I thought had served its purpose, had saw Multifacial and wanted to write a role in Saving Private Ryan.
Whew. And you did cartwheels all the way down the block.
No, I was shell-shocked. I was like, oh, what? Of course I will. And I didn't read the script, obviously, until I got on the plane. I mean, it was like that fantastical.
Do you have an interest in watching a lot of movies, or are you so ensconced in the business that that's your work and you'd rather just do other stuff in your free time?
I think there's some truth to that. I think, if the movie... I love watching good movies. And I find myself going back to some older movies and watching that. I'd rather watch a movie 100 times, one movie 100 times, than watch 100 mediocre movies.
We're on with Vin Diesel, who has Fast and Furious opening in theaters tomorrow.
Yeah, this looks good.
You know, Vin, I see in your bio that your mom was an astrologist. Did she see your success in acting in the stars, or was it more for entertainment purposes?
No. My mother's an astrologist, but she also has a master's in psychology. So she's not like,
Wait a minute. Is she that big Jamaican woman I see on TV
Cleo?
with the 1-900 number?
Miss Cleo or whatever her name
Miss
is?
Cleo? Is your mom Miss Cleo? Come on, call. I can see
I
a
can
few.
see it. Don't you worry. If you have a problem, make sure you call Miss Cleo.
Is that
My son, Vin Diesel?
Oh, it's like I'm telling you, it's the seventh degree. It's the sixth degree of Miss Cleo.
That's so funny.
So she needs to get into that. So listen, Fast and the Furious, man, getting a lot of talk. Everybody's talking about the trailer for this movie, like one of the best trailers in recent years.
Yeah. It's supposedly one of the highest rated trailers.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like having a high rated trailer, but what about they didn't use it all up in the trailer, did they, Vin?
No, they didn't. No, this film is dope, as they would say.
What's the fastest you've ever gone in a car?
Well, the fastest I've ever gone was actually on a motorcycle.
That's psycho.
155 miles.
Oh, come on.
Oh, that's easy, Jimmy, on these crotch rockets.
155?
Sure.
Where? What kind of motorcycle?
A GSXR.
Was it yours?
Yeah.
I mean, were you scared?
I was young. I was reckless. And for me, it was less scary and more liberating. I was at that time.
And was this in downtown Manhattan?
This is actually coming back home to Manhattan on the turnpike.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
I see. Forget it.
Did you pass anybody when you were going that fast?
Yeah.
I'm even as reckless as I was still somewhat cautious. So I opened up the bike when there was nobody else on the road. It was literally real early on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, but one pebble and you're dead. I mean, you did one thing the wrong way and you're out of there.
That was my whole philosophy on it. That's what was so, I guess, impressive in the world of recklessness.
Yeah, see, Diesel, you're one of these guys who is only happy when you're looking death right in the eye.
Thanks a lot, Vin.
Be good, guys.
The best of the Morning X on 99X. Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy. The original 99.